I think I bought too many. Yeah. I totally bought too many. So in today's video, we are going to be doing crafts with little golden books. And I want to show you guys, like, I started out at a garage sale and paid 50 cents each for the ones I got at the garage sale. And then I decided I didn't have enough, which was wrong and totally untrue. But then I went on a hunt around town, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know I live in a small place. We don't have a lot of thrift stores and not a lot of options around here. But I went to the places we had, couldn't find one, woke up in the middle of the night and was like, used bookstore. So I went to the used bookstore. I was able to find a ton of little golden books, and now I am home with this supply. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. It's too many. It's too many. But you know what? I'm excited about crafting with these. Yeah, let's get in the video. Okay, so we're gonna start with this one, and I'd never even heard of this one, but there's a really fun pictures in this one, and so we're gonna start with this easy project. So in here, I kind of looked through the book and I decided on this picture right here. There are no words on this one, and so I'm gonna frame this one. But if you were into like framing the actual story, that would be okay too. I just really liked this lion in the dress, so we're gonna go ahead and use this one. Now, instead of taking this whole book apart, I'm just gonna tear the page out. Now you could take the whole binding off if you wanted and save the pages that way and use the binding and covers for something else. But for today, I'm just going to tear this out. But we have our picture, and I'm using this 4x6 frame from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. And I'm gonna go ahead and just cut out this little square here. That way I have a template. Now, if I wanted to use the whole frame of this, the whole background, I could just use this as my template, but I don't think my page is actually big enough for that, although it is gonna look really nice in the middle of there. So let's go ahead and cut out our template, and then we'll cut out our book page. You guys, look what I did. And now it's not gonna fit in here. So when I cut this off, I cut only the picture portion out, but it's actually the whole piece. I don't know what I was thinking. So we're gonna fix it though. It is fixable. So if you make this mistake, don't worry. We can fix it. I'm gonna use a twistable crayon here because I don't want the pen to go through. So, all right, and then I'm just gonna cut out. so I just went ahead and used some washi tape and I taped it all together, and you can't even tell. So we're gonna go ahead, put this back in. And I had 2 more of these frames, so we're gonna go ahead and do a group of 3, and I went ahead and picked out 2 more pages. So we'll go ahead, put these in here, and then we'll see what the final look is. Okay, this book is already missing some pages, and the cover is actually, whoops, gonna come right off anyway. So we're just gonna use some scissors and cut this binding part off. And my regular scissors are gonna cut right through those pages. And then I have all the pages. Okay, now you can save this for a different project if you want. You could just get rid of this one's kind of falling apart, but you could take these apart too if you wanted to. I saw bracelets being made out of these on TikTok, so that's an option too. Okay, so we're gonna be making coasters out of this one, and I'm gonna repurpose these. They were from another project, and so I'm gonna go out in my garage and kind of sound these down and then come back. So now that we have these sanded off, we're just gonna take our picture, whatever picture we like, which I'm gonna go here. Use my twistable. I should have used a darker one, but okay. And we're just gonna trace around our image. Take our scissors and we're just going to cut around our traced lines. using Mod Podge, we're just going to take a foam brush and we're going to add it here to our coaster. We're going to make sure we have a generous amount here. And then we're going to lay our paper on top of our coaster. Mod Podge is now dry, and we're actually going to take our sanding block first and we're going to go over these. So if you don't have an electric sander, this sanding block from Dollar Tree will work just fine. You want to make sure you go over the edges because you want a fine, like, cohesive mark here that is flush with your piece of wood. And you're just going to go in a downward motion. This one is being kind of stubborn, but we want to go in a downward motion on all four sides and get any of that excess paper off. Now that our coasters are dry and we have sanded down the edges, we can do one of two things. So we can actually use Mod Podge again, and we can go over the top of these with Mod Podge, or we're going to go outside and we're going to use some clear acrylic spray. We're going to spray that on top of our coasters, which will give it a good feel. So we're outside and we have our clear matte spray, and we're just going to cover all of our coasters with our clear matte spray. We are on to our next really fun project. So we're going to use the cover of the Bugs Bunny book, and we're going to make a bookmark out of the cover. So super easy, and all you need is one of these cutting machines. It's not really a machine, but like a paper cutter trimmer. This is a Fisker's one, I believe, and I really like these. I have two of them. Keep one at school for paper projects at school, and then I keep one here at home. Okay, so I kind of already started so I could see if it was going to go through or not, but we're going to go ahead and just put this in here, kind of measure where we want it to be. And like I said, I already started cutting, so okay. So we're gonna line that up, and then you're just gonna push really hard through the book. Now it kind of scores it rather than cutting all the way through. So we're just gonna kind of do this. We have a line here in the back so we can put it back through the machine or the cutter. It's not really a machine, but we're gonna put it back through our cutter. And I wanna make sure I line up, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm gonna line up where my score mark is on to my cutter, and then I'm gonna go ahead, go back through, and it's gonna cut that off. I'm going for Bugs Bunny here, so we're gonna go ahead and do that again. Coming over on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and use my crocodile, and we have two pieces here. I'm not gonna use this piece, so we're just gonna put this one aside, but we are gonna use this for a bookmark. So I'm just gonna take my crocodile, I'm gonna come up here about the middle. I wanna go in between Bugs and Little Golden Books. I'm gonna go ahead and punch right through that. I love my crocodile. If you're interested in one, I will link one down below from Amazon. I believe I got mine from Amazon. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead. We have a hole here and we're gonna add some ribbons. So we're on to the project that inspired all of these projects, and I'm super excited to share that with you. So we're going to be using this Barbie book, and this is going to be a notebook. And I saw so many different versions of the notebook, and I went with just a simpler version of items that you could find everywhere. But we're going to be making this Barbie book into a super cute notebook. First off, we're going to take our book and we're just going to take the covers off. So we're just going to kind of tear that off. If you can see, this has a staple in it, so it's just going to come off pretty easily. We aren't going to be saving the spine for this one. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure our little golden book, because we want our pages from our scrapbooking paper to match this. And these are a little bit bigger than the book. So we're going to measure this, and then we're going to make sure these fit here along with our other paper that we're going to add. So our cover is about 6 inches, about 8, so 6 by 8. So we're going to take our scrapbook papers and we're going to measure them here. Our inches up here, and so we said 6 by 8. So we're going to come in here and do eight inches, measuring here. And do 6, which should give us 2 of the same, because these are 12 by 12s. So we should have 2. So we're gonna take our ruler and we're gonna measure, and I'm gonna mark at the 2 inches, and I'm gonna mark at the 6 inches. And if you're wondering why I chose 2 and 6, it's because we'll have 2 inches up here and then we'll have 2 inches down here. Now I'm gonna be using these rings to add all of my papers on. I found these at Hobby Lobby, but you're gonna want to have the ones that open up like that so that you can add things to them, and then we're going to be able to close them up. Okay, so we're gonna measure here. We're gonna have to measure all of our papers and our back cover as well, but we could also add to it as we are like measuring. Now I'm going to use my crocodile again, and I'm going to be using this hole right here, this kind of bigger hole, and I'm going to go in. So that's where it would be. I'm going to go ahead and go in maybe about half, so you can move these so that it won't go all the way down. And we're going to go to about half of that. Okay, and then let's see where that puts it on our cover. Yeah, so that's a good. So I'm going to line it up with my hole, and then I'm just going to go in, poke my hole, do the same thing on this side, poke my hole, and my marker is just a water-based marker, so it'll come right off. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do that on the same as the other one. Let's go ahead and put our covers on the rings, and we're just gonna start with our top cover, and we're gonna wanna go to this side because we're gonna be adding things, right? So we're gonna put that one in. We have that. Our cover is ready. So now we're gonna take our papers and we're gonna do the exact same thing. And we're gonna mark at 2. And then we're gonna mark at 6. Making sure that we have the 2 inches and the 2 inches. And then you can come in here and do multiple pages at a time. Just kind of line that up. And then come in here, line that up, and then voila, we can just add our papers. Now I'm going to keep one paper on top, that way I have a guide, and I'm just going to start cutting all the rest of my papers.
I had so much fun crafting with you today. Do you want a really cool Hobby Lobby crafting hack? Check out this video next, and I'll see you there. Bye!